You are here below the earth. The wet sounds of dripping. In this dank cave of death, the smell is rank. You are here below the earth of Scrapwall, far below the rust-pitted walls that make up the domain of Hellion above the surface. You are here below the earth at the behest of a certain rat folk named Redtooth, helping him find the culprit of the monster that's been stealing and eating his rust monster eggs. You've found said culprits deep here in these tunnels, following this underwater creek, where at its end has pooled this inchoate mass of mutated flesh, where you can see dripping from the ceiling rivulets of radioactive fluid. Numerian fluid, it is called in this world. It was a great foe to be bested, and best it you did. With that being said, you did not best it without a certain casualty. Yrsimagor, you have wiped the wounds, or wiped the blood from your claws, and looking down upon Donut. There is a scroll of raised dead in Veris's possessions. Veris, you see the outcome of this violence as everything comes to an end, as everyone catches their breath. You suffer from your wounds. And Daeralei, you have your body rack itself, trying to rid itself of the poison, the nasty, gut-wrenching, weakening aura that this thing had. And Toy, you witnessed it all as you come back to the fray, trying your best to arrive in time, but just too late. There's a moment of silence as the violence has come to an end, as all of you gather your wits and your breaths and try to face what it is to do.
Kneeling next to Donut. The only thing I can think to do is Veris.
I think Veris is like in shock. He's just kind of like sitting, staring at this fight, but also kind of nothing at the same time, just this vacant stare. And I think your call to him kind of breaks him out of this uh, uh Yrsimagor, yes, are you hurt?
No, I'm fine. You can clearly see that Yrsimagor is anything but fine. Yrsimagor is just as badly beaten as everyone else. Lots of bruising and bleeding, but instead looks down at the unmoving donut. Being crouched, or rather kneeled on the ground, I imagine Yrsimagor still has at least a foot on you, but is closer to your eye line than normal. When I turn to look at you, you see the sadness in my eyes. Veris, please. Is there anything you can do?
You see Veris kind of look through his pack. He begins to like, this is something very, very high level. I'm not sure if I. And he stops and he pauses. Well, there is one thing. And he pulls out the scroll that was given to them at Torch. We could use this. This was given to us at Torch.
What are you waiting for?
He looks at it and he looks at Donut and back at the... Right, yes, of course. And he is going to... I imagine there's this... Yeah, it's an hour casting time, so he is going to take a little while. I do need to prepare Donut's body, and you have some time to rest while I work on this.
I'm fine. Wherever you need him, I will put him. Yrsimagor has no intention of leaving Donut.
Okay. Yeah, so Veris is gonna attempt to take the time and cast the scroll. And he's working, and I think he does say he's not going to. I think he knows that it might not be done successfully, but he's not going to tell that to Yrsimagor.
So Veris, I'm going to need from you a spellcasting roll. This uses your spellcasting modifier.
Okay.
You're going to have to beat a DC since this spell is higher level than you can normally cast.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to roll your spellcasting roll here and describe for me, please, what it's like as Veris tries to untangle the words upon this scroll to produce its magic that is far beyond his capabilities to do.
Could I spend a thing to do it with advantage?
Yeah.
Is that
you can
possible?
absolutely do so.
It's one to roll with advantage.
One to roll with advantage.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So that's a 19.
Okay. Describe for me, please, how Veris brings about the magic from the scroll, far beyond his abilities.
I imagine that Veris has a piece of a book that he takes out and he kind of dusts it off a little bit and he opens it up and you can see that it is just a journal full of scribblings and he's talking the whole time, of course, and he says, well, I found this handy little magical codex when I was deep in the mines of um, and he like rattles off this name. He said, I got it off of a skeleton who fell into a very unfortunate trap. Fortunate for me, though, because I was able to kind of jump over his bones in order to get across the pit trap that he so unfortunately fell into. But on my way across, I did find that there was this book in here. Now let me see. Yes, and he's like looking at these words and like you can see he's almost like matching it from the scroll to this little book that he has open. He says, yes, I see. As he's deciphering this, he takes out some like various glass bottles and various solvents and like um and all sorts of strange things that he begins to like pour over Donut's body and dust and all of that, and he then once all of these things are set up around Donut, it looks quite elaborate. There's lots of sigils and candles and I imagine it's that tropey, like, what you'd find in like the horror movie with like the pentagram and like the candles lit around. And um, Varys stands back and looks to Yrsimagor one last time and says, okay, all I have to do is say these words and pronounce them as if I was, as if I had speaking the arcane language my whole life, which I have, but maybe not for this type of spell or this complicated. So I have confidence that I can do it. But let me just, and he is going to say the words on the scroll.
As you prepare to read the scroll, I place a shoulder on your hand. I believe in you, Veris. Don't fuck it up.
Varys sweats ever so slightly at that, but is going to, say the words.
Immediately upon the pronunciation of these arcane, powerful words that you speak aloud, as the entire area begins to fill with this mixture, divine and arcane energy. Veris, your eyes are glowing as you bring forth this power. There's a light that shines from Donut's body as it rises off the ground. It's limp at first, its many legs hanging, suspended in the air. The wind begins to whip around all of you. You're not sure where it came from. You're so deep into the earth. And then Varys's voice crescendos, and Donut's eyes spring open. They are open and they shine with a light similar to Varys's own. Donut's limbs, they grow stiff. They flex. The claws unsheath, then resheath themselves again. The head begins to move as Donut lands with a soft landing upon the stone ground. She sniffs around for a bit. She looks pale. She looks weak. She looks enfeebled. She looks sick. And she cannot hold her weight with her 6 legs and slumps, curled up, breathing heavily, wheezing just a bit, but very much alive. Donut, has come back to life. She is now at 1 hit point. But coming back from the dead is no easy feat. She takes a -4 penalty to all d20 rolls. Every time she finishes a long rest, that penalty goes down by 1. But she is alive, and she recognizes all of you, recognizes you especially, Yrsimagor, and does what she can in her weakened state to give your knuckles a little bit of a nudge with her forehead before slumping down on the stone at your feet.
I will continue to hold her head and will just kind of softly scratching behind the ears, but will reach into a pouch on the side of my pack and pull out one of the Aramvarax treats and just break it into little pieces and kind of hold it right there in front of her muzzle, as realizing it's going to take a little bit to before she has the strength to actually move. Again, showing no signs of getting up for the time being. So, short rest, remind me, half hit points and abilities.
Get back
correct?
half of your hit points. Yeah. Veris, however, does not get a short rest from this. In the meantime, what was everyone else doing as Veris puts forward this ritual to bring Donut back? Daeralei and Toy.
I was clutching my stomach and groaning until the poison passed, at which point I think I must have passed out for a second with my head against the rock, listening to the chanting that Veris was doing, and I think I slept a little bit. I feel much better now anyway.
That wasn't a rock. You were leaning against Yrsimagor's back.
Oh dear God.
I'm just looking at where you are on the map.
Such a beautiful and tender moment. I'd hate to ruin that. I'm lying. But I think because, Toy took a bit to get here, she is going to be standing guard. She's going to have her weapons drawn just in case. And she's just gonna allow the soothing voice of Veris's chanting to kind of help keep her attention on what is important and why she is standing guard.
With the ritual concluded and your companion joined to you once more, what do you do now? Do you return back to Redtooth's cave and tell him the deed is done? Is there anything else that happens here below the earth?
We should give him back his egg. We did not have to use it.
I was going to give them back.
I have nothing else to do here.
How many eggs did he give me? I thought I had it written down.
I think he gave you 2
My brain says 3, but
or 3.
My brain
I
said
can't recall.
6, but that seems like too many.
we'll split the difference and say 3.
Yeah, I never used them as I intended to for bait, so I have them all. As you say that, I I just picture Yrsimagor like holding one, like he was considering giving it to Donut, and then just goes, "Yeah, we'll give these back."
And so then the group of you return, backtracking through the tunnels, emerging once more into the small little nest that Redtooth has. You see Redtooth. He's hunched in the corner. He's sweeping something aside. He's whistling some ratfolk tune as he prepares more nests in the corners of this underground lair. At your approach, he hears you. An ear flicks back. "Oh, you have returned then," he says, alarmed at your approach. "So, what news? Did you find what was predating upon my eggs?"
Yes. Here. And I
Oh.
hold out the 3 small eggs.
What's it? Oh, these precious little things. These precious eggs.
It
Will
was
they
some
grow?
unspeakable eldritch horror, not fit for anyone to see. But no worries.
It is vanquished?
We have vanquished it,
Oh.
yes.
Oh, thank the stars that it is a group like you that would cure me of my predicament, rather than being old Redtooth himself doing such a thing. Thank you again. This will help us immensely in our upcoming battle against Hellion and the Lords of Rust. You mark my words. Yes, you mark my words. As he like rubs the oddly soft surface of the eggs.
Had we negotiated a payment or reward for this, or were we doing this as part of a multi-tiered plan, or both?
This was part of a multi-tiered plan of
This was the resistance.
rebels of the Shadow Den.
There
was two leads that you had where they were bickering. Redtooth needed help with making sure his eggs weren't getting swooped up in the night, and a Bree Kite was like, "No, you should be checking out the wreckage on the outskirts of town because it hasn't been spelunked, and there's certainly something in there of note that could help against Hellion." And the two of them bickered, and you all decided to do one and then the other, and this one was the first one to do.
We chose the easy path.
Yeah. Do you have any special healing potions or ways in which you treat your injured creatures?
Oh, of course, yes. We keep a small reserve of healing potions for my creatures, yes. Why, did you suffer injuries down there? He looks all of you up and down. Seems a bit of a scrap it was.
Donut
If it were.
and Veris.
Well, one second, I can help you out, he says as he scrambles over to what you realize is now like a little kind of a pantry section in this like underground cave nest area. He opens this like wooden little hatch, and he's like rummaging about, and you hear the clinking of bottles. Oh, this one, oh, that's dewormer. No, you don't want that one. This one, Oh, that would kill you. No. This one. This is the good stuff. As he holds out, he grabs 2 bottles, and he waddles his way over to Yrsimagor and says, "This for your troubles, then." As he hands you 2 greater healing potions.
I will hand one of them to Veris. What's the greater one do again? It's
4d4 plus 4.
44
Yeah.
plus 4. I was thinking similar, Kaeryn. Except I was thinking maybe in fact, I'll voice this as I'm going to administer this healing potion to Donut. I'm just, man, I wish, I would like to humbly request if there's any artists watching, art of a giant orc feeding a healing potion to a giant 8-legged cat, like feeding a calf or a goat or something. As 44 plus, it was 44 plus 4.
Yep.
Okay, so I rolled all ones, believe it or not.
It will be 8.
So 8 points will go back to Donut. So as I'm feeding this healing potion to Donut, I hand the other one to you, Veris, and I say, "Do you think your father be willing to look after Donut while she recovers?"
Veris kind of scratches his head for a second, looking at Donut and then at himself. You don't think that Donut will eat my father, do you?
Yrsimagor looks absolutely taken aback by this. Like, what? No! Has she tried to eat you? Wait, I don't know what happened to I don't know what happened to Yrsimagor's voice.
It's not Russian this time.
It's not Russian this time. She hasn't tried to eat you.
Well, not technically, as in, teeth around limbs, but I've seen the eyes that she's given me and maybe smacked her lips a few times in my direction. I wouldn't put it past her, but, well, maybe. And, Veris looks at Donut again. But I understand wanting to keep Donut safe, and I do think that my father is probably the safest place here in Scrapwall.
I think Toy kind of pipes up when Veris is talking about Donut maybe wanting to eat him. She goes, we remember that Donut really, 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 really likes to eat gold, right? Do you have gold on you?
I think Veris looks to, all the little trinkets he has.
I actually completely forgot about the gold eating.
I think that's why she was staring and lip smacking. She wanted all your pretty little toys.
Wait, so are Aurum Vorax treats just gold coins?
They have little the blacksmithing cast-offs. What are they called? Like the slag.
Yeah,
It probably has little bits of slag and stuff mixed into
So it's D&D Goldschlager.
Biscuits. Yeah.
Yep.
I will make sure. I've totally forgot what Veris' father's name is.
Whiskifus.
Whiskifus.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
Whiskifus.
right.
I will make sure that Whiskifus has extra gold coins to keep Donut sated. But I have another reason for. Remind me, what is it? Isn't Whiskifus like some kind of a tinkerer or something like that? I thought I
Yes,
remembered
yeah.
that correctly. I have other motivations to have your father watch after her. I would like to see if he can fashion some sort of armor for her. Leather or something to offer her extra protection.
Yes, I do believe that he would be quite adept at doing that. Yes.
Well,
And willing.
We need to be careful of what this armor is made of. If it is too much metal, poor Donut will just try to eat it.
leather.
Yes.
Leather would be the more appropriate, I think. And offer her more freedom of movement. She's not exactly a full battle cat. Right now, she's more of a cringer. And at this point, this is basically in Yrsimagor's mind. We've agreed this is what we're doing. And I'm already heading towards the exit, leading Donut along with the intent to go see Whiskifus.
So,
And unless there's anything special we want to do there, I'm fine with we just go there and drop off and explain, unless you want us to actually go there. However you want to do that.
yeah, I'm good to just like drop off Donut.
I'm gonna leave. I have 12 gold on me, so I'm gonna leave half of that with Whiskifus along with the Ormvorax treats.
Gotcha.
For the purpose of keeping taken care of.
Whiskifus will say to you, "Of course, I would find some kind of armor to equip your battle cat with. I was thinking something like leather or bone, perhaps. If you come across any troll bone, do bring it my way. That is quite good to work with."
Oh my gosh. An Ormvorax with a troll skull battle mask? Isn't there a Pokemon that has like a bone over its head?
The Cubone, and it's so sad.
Yeah, sorry.
There was
I missed the
fabled
Pokemon.
ratfolk hero named Cubone, who wore the skull of a troll and wielded its femur as a club. And so you leave Donut with Whiskifus, who's like, "Oh my," at the sight of this very powerful cat creature that immediately begins like plundering his goods for snacks, and he has to like divert its attention with like breaking off bits of gold coin to satiate it. But nonetheless, yeah, you're able to keep Donut here for the meantime to let her recover while you go your merry way.
Such a perfect comical situation of leaving the giant 8-legged cat with the grandfather mouse.
In the tinker shop, no doubt, with a bunch of edible toys.
I have every intention, unless the situation, something comes up, to leave Donut with Whiskifus for at least the 4 days she needs to recover.
Okay.
but also open to there may be a situation where we realize we need her. So I guess we'll play it by ear.
And with that, you have left behind Whiskers and Wonders. This is Whiskifis's shop.
As
As you go out your way once more.
as we leave, before saying, actually leaving the shop, Yrsimagor would crouch down and scratch behind Donut's ears again and just say, "Be good." And then, as we head outside, I turn to face Toy, Daeralei, and Veris. And I stand there for a moment, just sort of, I don't usually do this sort of thing, but thank you. Thank you, Veris, for bringing Donut back. And thank you all for allowing us to use this magic.
Well, of course, Donut gave up her life for us in battle, and it seemed only fitting that we would do everything we can to save a member of the team.
Well, thank you. All right. That's enough of that. What's next?
I believe there's a site that has been not spelunked before. One of your friends was talking about it. We could check back in with them and let them know that that's where we're headed next. Unless you have another idea.
If I can just pipe in just a little bit here, I think y'all need to sleep first.
Sleep is for the weak.
Yeah, that's what they say. Until the weak is dead and buried. Sleep is good for you. You should do that.
I agree with Toy as well. I mean, at the risk of, I am a mouse or a rat. Being strong is not exactly our what we're known for.
It's not true. I've seen a lot of strong rats.
Sure, but not.
Well,
Not in comparison to Yrsimagor, of course, no one would be objectively that strong. Maybe comparison-wise, but for body weight, of course. But sorry.
While you may think that you, and she literally uses, the air quotes, you lack strength, and you maybe lack strength physically, you are very strong in mental acuity and arcane knowledge. So
I think
where
that
you lose one strength, you gain many more.
You see Veris's ears kind of twitch and his whiskers kind of move, and like he just kind of ruffles up a little bit when you say that. It stands up a little straighter.
And she looks at Daeralei. She goes, "You are also very mentally strong, and you are far more mentally attuned to certain things than the rest of us. You need to let your brain rest." And then she looks at Yrsimagor and she goes, "Big guy, you're the one who has all the muscle. You need to let those muscles relax so that you're limber for the next big challenge."
Is she calling you weak, Yrsimagor? Because she
Yeah.
told us that we were strong and therefore we don't need sleep, but...
I said you need sleep.
No, you said I was mentally strong. I distinctly heard that.
I did. But I also said that you need to let your brain rest and you need to sleep.
My brain is fine. I don't need
I'm
it.
going to make sure that you see that it is fried. Maybe with a side of fava beans. Who knows?
I look at Toy and take the compliment and the flattery. I look at Daeralei with a little bit of side eye and then just glance over at Veris and say, "We will rest because Veris needs it." You see that?
Veris nods.
You see that Yrsimagor, while doing much better after spending an hour or two down in the caves, still has a few wounds and bruises and walks with a slight limp.
Yeah, Veris is completely fine with taking, like, the proverbial, like, fall for this, as he's like, yep, that's me, super tired.
Fine, I know where I am outvoted. Does this mean we get to finally taste your father's cooking?
We're just going to turn around and go back in and crash at Veris's dad's
Hey.
place.
And that's where Toy will take the fall. She is not afraid to go in there and be like, hey, is there any way that we can just, like, sleep here for a little bit? I need it. They especially need it. But I am willing to be the one to ask. I know it's a lot. I don't know your son very well. But they also need to heal and lick their wounds a little.
Did we lose Vi? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Vi
I
and
might
Em are
have lost
both,
both of them.
Vi and
Yeah.
Em are both frozen.
Oh, no!
Let's give it a moment, and if we end up losing them, we'll go ahead and... All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a break. What a good place to take a break. We're going to take a break and we will get this resolved and see you on the other side. And we're back.
And so you invite yourselves into Whiskers and Wonders, the shop and home of Whiskifus, Veris's father. He stammers at a bit of protest with, in a rumvarax named Donut, kind of rummaging through his goods, and all of a sudden, 3 more adventurers, plus his son, come through the door, ding-a-ling-a-ling, saying, "Oh, we're going to be staying here for the night." He's make sure. He tries to say something in protest as Donut knocks something over, and he has to scramble over to catch it as it falls off the shelf. You're able to take a long rest here. As you climb up the really, really narrow ladder, which goes up to the top floor of this shop. This is a home that basically housed Veris and Whiskifus himself for many years, which, as all of you would know, are both rat folk, small creatures. And so to house and have rest creatures like Yrsimagor and Toy and Daeralei, it's quite cramped. I imagine you're all actually kind of in a bit of a kind of an unwanted cuddle puddle as you take your long rest up here, as you're trying your best not to kick each other in the face and roll over and elbow people into sensitive parts, as you take your long rest here in the top floor of Whiskers and Wonders.
This is where you find out Yrsimagor likes to be the little spoon.
Toy is like sandwiched in the middle, and her and Daeralei are just cuddling. Like Toy forces it too. She's just like, it's okay to just Deal with it. We are in a cuddle pile.
Daeralei just grunts.
I know.
Stop doing that.
Shh, it'll help you sleep. At least
You know what would help me sleep?
those.
A walk. A walk would be nice. I think a walk would help me sleep.
I imagine Veris and Yrsimagor, having spent a lot of time together previously, we've slept in camping situations all the time, that it's just sort of normal for Veris to probably lean against Yrsimagor for warmth and comfort.
Oh yeah, I think this is Veris's favorite because he doesn't have to like being a smaller creature and having the warmth of this like huge like orc is great. The smell is fine too. He doesn't mind.
Does Daeralei go for a walk outdoors?
I think at one point Daeralei does get up,
Mhm.
goes for a walk, maybe downstairs, maybe not so much outdoors because we don't know this place very well. We don't know what things could be, like the guards could be around. So I think just kind of paces downstairs with a little bit more room, but eventually, of course, comes back. And I think there's a reluctance to join the rest of them. But I think eventually sleep does overtake Daeralei, and if you don't mind me saying, in the morning when we see them, there's Daeralei curled up nice and toasty, cuddly, close to, in fact, Yrsimagor, looking extremely peaceful while resting.
I imagine there's a pile on your Yrsimagor of Veris and Toy and Daeralei just
There
kind
is
of...
a pile. It's just like
There's not enough
Toy is
pillows,
a
so you
big
use a
spoon.
Yrsimagor as a pillow.
See, that would make great artwork too. Just this big, giant sleeping orc with the rest of the party just all slumbering
Zonked.
against him, zonked out, comfortable, safe.
Of course, so I imagine Yrsimagor
Donut.
is like laying on his back. He's like, has taking up like the entirety of the floor. Everyone's like huddled up against him, and there's Donut who's curled up on your chest, sleeping on your chest that rises and falls as you sleep and snore. And morning comes, and everyone's much stiffer than they would like to be, sleeping in these cramped quarters. But you are able to have all of your hit points and abilities back from this long rest, as you have another day of adventuring. What is it that you do now in the new day? What is it that you go to do or see?
I believe Daeralei had suggested spelunking, which seems much more agreeable at full health and abilities.
So you are to make your way to the wreckage on the outskirts of town?
Yes, but I think we should check in with them. I forgot what they called themselves.
The Shadow Den.
The Shadow Den. Let them know that's where we're headed, in case something urgent comes up.
When you go to inform them, there is no one who answers the door of the Shadow Den. You're not sure if it's because it's early morning or because there's some protocol that's happening where they're a bit more undercover than usual based on the passing of Hellion guards or whatnot, but you're able to leave a clandestine note telling them of your whereabouts and your plans as you make your way across Scrapwall. You make your way from the Shadow Den, back up through Newtown, through the spires, across the northern outskirts of the great arena, snaking your way past the old Technic League headquarters, back when they ruled this town, past the dig site and the Shrine of the Ancients, until you see ahead of you a bunch of signs that are painted. Beware, go no further, stop, dead ahead. All painted and these warning signs written on the scrap and rust that make up the valley ahead of you. The valley snakes downwards, deeper, as if there's some crater that this is descending down into. You can tell immediately the weather here has shifted. Before it was a decently sunny day, here now, as you step foot into this valley proper, it becomes quite overcast and cold as all of you begin being able to see your breath as you breathe out. These strange mists obscure everything. Soon you find yourselves, as you press further in, barely being able to see a few strides ahead of you, as these great outcroppings of rust and debris appear out of nowhere, bursting through the fog, and you realize this is much more labyrinthine than you were expecting it to be. There's something otherworldly of this chill here, something that grips to your very souls. You are reminded of how Bree Kite, that artificer back in the Shadow Den, had said that no one has scavenged this section of town because it is haunted. Please order yourselves here at the top of this map as your preferred marching order. If you're able to get in, yeah, you're able to see and such.
In which direction are we traveling on this map?
From north to south.
Okay.
Yeah, you can space yourselves out and such to not be in a single file line if you so wish. It is quite a wide valley, but you can barely see a few hands ahead of you.
Veris is right behind Yrsimagor, not for, single file purposes, just protection purposes. Human shield,
Standard.
orc shield.
Sounds about right.
You see that this section of scrap wall, yes, it is made of debris and ruin and scrap, but this is not artificially built walls out of scrap like the rest of scrap wall is, where over time many hands have moved the rubble to form great walls. No, seems to be, as you can see by the gashes in the earth, the ravine itself, the way that the rainwater trickles through. No one has been through here almost ever. Perhaps you're the first to make it this far in recent times. Daeralei, you are used to seeing in normally dark situations, that with your keen dark elf eyes, but here this fog is so thick that even you have the hardest of times piercing through it with your vision. You, of course, have the best vision here in the group, but that's not saying much. As you progress... Okay, go ahead, Jake, if you're going to speak.
Oh, I was just going to say, I would like to... I don't know what that means necessarily mechanically, but I would like to proceed cautiously and extra vigilant.
Yeah, perfect. Everyone who is proceeding cautiously and vigilantly, please make me some perception rolls, please.
I was going to add to that. I would like to cast dancing lights, but have it like way ahead of us and maybe to the side so that if it does trigger some ambush or whatever, we will see it before they see us, that kind of thing.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna make a little light token that you will be able to move around, I think. That's probably the best way to do it. We'll say this is this. I put it, so call it dancing lights. Make it a prop. Make it, oh, what? Whoopsies. Um, and then it has this, and then this. So now, yeah, you should be able to move it, Daeralei, your dancing lights. I'll make it a little smaller. There.
My cheese dice let me down. I rolled a natural 1. Actually, sorry, I did my math wrong. That I have a +1 to perception, not a -1. So I have a 2 for perception, not a 0.
All right, Toy, you have the keenest ears of the group in this moment as you're making your way down, progressing through this mist-filled valley. You hear the sound of something clanging, something scraping, movement definitely happening down over here to the southwest area. Sorry, southeast area.
I think she'll kind of step over and just very lightly kind of nudge Yrsimagor. And I imagine that she gets close enough to where he can see her face. And she just puts a finger to her lips and points in the direction of the sound. And then she points to herself and points in that direction again. Basically, like, silently saying, I'm gonna go look before we rush in. I think that's what she's gonna try and do.
You see Yrsimagor not in agreement, but seems to be looking slightly to your left. Like, can't quite pick out exactly where you are.
Mm-hmm.
As the fog swirl, it's just... The fog seems to be at this height, just too much for him.
You can go ahead and move yourself, Toy, as much as you'd wish.
Looks like that's something I can hide behind.
Do you want me to keep moving the lights? I can move them up to 120 feet away from me, so I was like, I think that should be the spell.
And so, Toy, I'll say, as you get here, as you're progressing forward, checking out this large pillar of Skymetal that is lodged into the ground at some odd angle. This is where that perception roll kicks in for you. As you see something fly out of the mist towards you, rapidly fast. Seems like a piece of rebar or something. It flies at you. Be able to duck out of the way just in time before the rebar lands in the dirt, near the feet of Yrsimagor. If you hadn't dodged out of the way, it would probably have definitely clubbed you thoroughly in the head and maybe even driven itself through your skull with how much force it had. And with that, everyone please roll initiative.
Yeah.
Listen, cheese dice. It's your big moment. An initiative roll. I know what it is. I'm just rolling them on the table and I'm not using a dice roller. tray. I rolled a 4. For a total of 7 for initiative.
Yrsimagor got a 7. Veris got a 14.
I feel like that's pretty on brand for Yrsimagor, though. I feel like I've been rolling low in initiatives.
Daeralei got a 19. And Toy got a 10. Perfect. Okay, so as you duck out of the way, Toy, out of this this piece of rebar that comes flying at you, you're able to dodge out of the way. Daeralei, similar thing happens to you out of nowhere, seemingly right in front of your very feet. A piece of like this scrap metal, this jagged edged blade of metal comes wheeling around, peeling itself off the ground and slashing at you with a sharp stab, seemingly out of nowhere. This is going to be a natural 20 to hit you for a total of 24.
Ow. Ow.
And that's going to be 7 slashing damage.
Just 1 second. I'm just checking all my things if I've got a thing. Nope, it doesn't look like I've got a thing. Close encounter. Nope, that's not the same thing. Okay, I have nothing to stop it. So 9, you say?
7 slashing.
7, you say. 7 damage. Boom. Okay.
And Veris, just as you see, as you're focusing on this piece of jagged metal slashing at Daeralei out of its own will, I need you to make a strength saving throw, please, as you feel a great force pushing you from behind.
Got a 9.
A 9. You, Veris, are going to take 12 points of force damage as you are picked up and launched at 30 feet away. Let's see, how do I, in this direction, over here. Perfect. Yeah, you are launched over here. Thrown, similar to that piece of rebar was, as you go, whoa, and are tossed, landing in a heap some 30 feet away. Toy, you are going to get attacked again by another piece of scrap thrown at you out of nowhere. This is only going to be a 12 to hit you. So you're able to this time duck out of the way again as you see a piece of like the scrap itself peeling itself from the wall of debris and then lining up like an arrow, like a javelin, and launching itself at you. But you're having enough time to get out of the way. And then lastly, Veris, you feel something very cold approaching you. As you can see in the mist, there's something that moves itself towards you. You can't quite make out what it is. It seems like a figure of some kind. It seems to be made of the smoke. Sorry, it seems to be made out of the mist itself. You see that it's tall, it's humanoid, has a very round head, a bulky body. And as you get close, you realize that its bulky head is not a head, but some kind of helmet. And inside the visor, you see a brief vision of a skull, human skull inside this visor looking at you. Make a wisdom save, please, as this thing does a haunting visage at you.
Is that that's not a magic thing, is it?
It is. This is magic, yes.
Okay, I get advantage.
Yeah.
On Wiz saving throws against magic. Both of them are the same, so that's a 16.
You are able to pass. You will not be having the frightened condition, nor take any psychic damage. And that was that. Daeralei, it is your turn.
Okay, as a bonus action, I would like to separate and move the lights so that they're spread out a little bit. I'd like to. They have to be like with 20 feet within 20 feet of, like, the closest one, so like I can spread them out. But I'd like to do that. Yeah, so a couple of by Veris and a couple by Toy, just so I
cool.
can.
I'm giving you 2.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I want to kind of see. Well, I guess not really see, but I want to move it to where Veris kind of was launched. Move it up so see, and I myself am going to move towards where Veris was launched.
Excuse me.
Do I also see the metal visage or whatever that?
You do not, no.
Okay.
As you move, this is going to trigger an attack of opportunity.
Oh, sweet.
As something strikes you from behind, as you feel yourself getting walloped by a loose stone. That's going to be 19 to hit you.
That is a hit.
Okay, that's going to deal 7 bludgeoning to you as you get whopped from behind as the stone clubs itself at you.
I am going to whirl around and launch a couple of Eldritch Blasts at where it kind of hit me from.
Okay, give me your attack rolls at disadvantage, please.
Yeah. Roll. Oh, so I had a nat 20, but with the disadvantage is a 16 for the first one. And the second one, oh, I didn't roll at disadvantage, is also a 16.
Okay, that will hit as your Eldritch Blasts find purchase on something in the mist.
Okay, so the first blast is 9 damage, and the second one does 11.
Okay. It seems you struck something, and as you do, you see shimmering, almost zoetrope in the mists. Again, that similar visage to what Veris saw. This figure, incorporeal, their face a cracked visor, skeletal remains inside, before they vanish into the mist itself again. That happened about right here to you.
Okay.
That was your move and your action. There's some of your move and your action. You've got some movement left.
If anything, I would go stand like back to back with Veris.
Okay. That brings us to Veris. Your turn.
So he saw that a figure
Yes, you saw a figure
like here.
like right here.
Oh, right there. Oh, okay.
Yeah, as it approached you from the mist and tried to dementor you, basically, with its skeletal visor. Tried to
That is
consume
a
your
lot.
soul.
That's a lot closer than the Veris would like. I think that Veris is still going to cast a shatter.
Okay.
But center it so that it just hits the skeleton.
Okay, so yeah, you can launch the shatter somewhere over here, then trying to hit. Yeah.
So it has to
Perfect.
make a con saving throw, please.
Okay.
DC 15.
Well, it rolled a natural 1, so it'll fail.
Excellent.
And Daeralei, you said your
29.
dancing lights fail?
Yeah, the second
Okay.
smack caused me to lose concentration.
No more lights. The lights snuff out. How much damage is that, Em?
29.
29 damage. Okay. Again, in the flashbang of the sound, you see the almost like a strobe version of this this skeletal remains made of smoke, just for a moment, but it still stands there, somehow even closer than the moment it was before. Inches away from your face. You struck it with the thunder damage, but not enough to slay it. That was your action. Would you like to do anything else?
He's gonna give Daeralei bardic inspiration. He's gonna... Don't fret just because we cannot see these things entirely well. We've definitely fought worse. Definitely.
Right. Any movement for you? Okay. Toy, it is your turn.
Okay, cool. She's not seeing anything except, scrap randomly flying at her. So can I have her move to hide? So
Absolutely.
that way, if something pops up, she can sneak attack it.
Okay, so do you want to use your action to ready an attack against it, or do you want to use your action to hide?
I want to use my...
Sorry, you can use your bonus action to hide because you're rogue. Never mind.
Yes.
You can all of the above. All of the above.
All of the above. I want to
Okay.
ready my action to be able to sneak attack if something comes up, and my bonus action to hide.
Okay, perfect. You will slip behind this then for cover. Roll me a stealth roll, please.
Coolsies. Let's see. Come on, dice. Don't fail me now. They failed me. I got a 9.
Okay. As you stride back there, you realize you step on a very loose piece of debris, and it goes clang as you dislodge something as you stepped on it in this hard to see area. You are readied. Cool. And that will bring us to Yrsimagor. Your foes are invisible to you, Yrsimagor, as they strike at your allies. How do you act here in this mist-filled veil?
I think the obvious choice is to roar mightily like the bear that I am and rage, drawing forth the bear claws, and I'm going to attack recklessly to negate any disadvantage of swinging wildly. That's my intention, is I'm going to take my attacks just swinging it where I think there might be something.
Okay. So the last thing that you saw was Daeralei striking at something over here.
And that's
where her Eldritch Blasts seem to be stopped by something.
And that is
something invisible.
Where I will head. I will... I'm going to roll the first attack with digital dice. So it was a 16 and it rolled over. So it's a 15 to hit.
That's going to be a hit. And roll your damage first before you make your other attack.
Yep. That'll be 7 plus the 2 for raging. So 9. Flashing.
Okay. As you do a swipe through the mist, you feel it catch something ever so slightly as you do this ripping tear through the air, and it catches on something material. As you see, being conjured out of the mist itself is the rotten, mummified remains of something that kind of conjures itself and clatters to the ground in front of you. You see this dusty, I don't even want to say moldy because it's long past the stage of mold, this skeletal figure in a bulky set of armor and a cracked visor faceplate go crashing out of the mist, falling to the ground and then turning to dust at your feet. Whatever it was that you struck was some kind of incorporeal undead. So that was your first attack.
I mean, I'm still going to keep swinging if I have a sense there might be more of them.
Okay. You can keep swinging wildly about you. You can make your other attack rolls.
I'm going to roll with... I'm going to try these cheese dice again. That is a 16 to hit. Wait, yeah, because I'm rolling straight up, because I'm rolling with... and that's the extra attack from that, the third attack.
Your claws connect with nothing
11.
as you miss. And 11 also connects with nothing and misses.
So, yeah, just swinging in the dark. I don't really have anything else to do. I think I would like to... How far did I move to get over in this area?
You've moved 15 feet.
So then I would like to... I have a total of 40 feet of movement. Okay. I'm going to position myself... Frank, I'm playing the game, man. This cat keeps tapping me on the arm.
He just wants your love.
No, he wants me to play with him because every time I try to grab him, he runs away. Yeah, I'm going to position myself here.
Okay, perfect. Toy, I need you to please make a strength saving throw.
I'm scared. Everyone pray for me. Damn. Okay, that's not as bad as it could have been. 15.
You feel yourself about to get telekinetically launched upwards into the air, but you're able to grab onto the wall next to you and hold yourself down. This would have launched you straight up into the air, but you, thankfully, did not succumb to it. And then from around the corner, you see not from around the corner, sorry. The thing you were hiding behind originally, this thing, it begins to groan and creak before now threatening to fall on you. I need you to please make a dexterity saving throw.
All of my what are supposed to be good rolls are awful. I got a 9.
A 9 is not good enough. As it comes crashing down, this is probably just like, as you're like stabilizing yourself from being thrown up into the air, this giant pillar of Skymetal itself comes crashing down on you, knocking you prone and dealing 30 points of bludgeoning damage to you and pinning you. You are now pinned to the ground under the Skymetal pillar. 30 bludgeoning damage, prone. Prone and pinned. That was that one. Daeralei, you also feel a very powerful force come out of nowhere, and I need you to make a strength saving throw to resist it.
That is a 15.
You will also be able to resist it. As you feel a force pushing at you from behind as if to launch you forward into the unknown of the mist. But you're able to brace yourself using your feet to break your movement as you kind of like use your heels and dig into the sandy ground at your feet. Daeralei, it is your turn.
Do I know where that feeling felt like it came from?
Came from directly behind you in this direction.
I'm going to blast that direction with my Eldritch
Alright.
blasts.
Attack rolls with disadvantage, please.
Love shooting blood. Okay, disadvantage. First roll. Oh, ooh, that's a 24.
That hits.
Okay.
Roll for damage.
I think I'm also going to do this. I keep forgetting my special ability, the close encounters one. Sorry, it doesn't want me sick. Where is it? Where is it? My ability. I will suffer some mental anguish to add 3 to this roll. The damage roll. Yeah. Okay. So that. Okay. Back. Damage is 7 plus 3, 10. 10 points of force damage.
You see, as the light of your Eldritch blasts shoot out from your fingertips, similar thing happens to what happened with Yrsimagor, to one of these undead creatures way back in this far section, way behind you in this fog-filled valley, as you see obliterated by your Eldritch blast. The scattered remains of what appears to be skeletons in spaceman suits, obliterated from the mist itself before they turn to dust once more. You have a second Eldritch Blast beam to fire off. Where would you like to fire it off, if anywhere?
So Toy right now is pinned by a giant column of stone?
Giant pillar of Skymetal, yes.
Of
right,
Skymetal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would like... Oh, this is dangerous. But I think I'd like to try to blast it to maybe help get it off of her.
Okay. Make that attack roll then. With normal, because you can see it.
With normal? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. That is a 22 to hit.
You blast the Skymetal pillar, and the force of it kind of sends it moving just a little bit, making it ever so slightly easier for Toy to get out from under it in the future. Veris.
Does it take damage?
It will not be taking any substantial damage from this, no.
Okay. I would also then like to move.
You'd like to move anywhere?
Yeah, I want to move. I want to move. Not in the Zoom. It doesn't work there. I want to move around Veris so that whatever it was that was attacking him before, it'd have to go through me first.
Okay, perfect. That brings us to Veris then. It is your turn.
So sorry, is that skeleton still there? That's right by him?
You can make a perception roll to try to see it. Because it's not like, it wasn't like consistently there. It was like flashes in moments, like a strobe light.
It's a 10?
You do not see any sign of anything around you.
I see. Okay. Gosh, I don't know. I think he's just going to ready an action then, if it comes out again.
Okay. To do what? To strike at it, or?
Yeah, I guess if it comes within melee distance, he's gonna... Or if he sees something, yeah, he's gonna strike at it.
Okay, perfect. Toy, it is your turn. You are pinned and prone underneath this column of Skymetal. What would you like to do?
Oh, super cool. Use at bare minimum half of my movement. If I have to use all of it, I will, to get up.
Okay, so to get up, you will have to unpin yourself from this giant Skymetal thing that's crushing you. This will be a dexterity. This will be either acrobatics or strength. Sorry, acrobatics or athletics, please, to remove this from you. It'll be slightly easier because of the help of Daeralei earlier.
Yes. I got a 24.
That is enough. As you, I imagine, using dexterity, you
Yes.
slip your way, removing yourself from underneath this thing. You will have used both your movement and your action.
Nope.
Sorry, you'll use half your movement and your action, but you're neither prone nor pinned, so you can move around as you wish from here.
Cool. Can I have her just kind of like, she's unpinned herself, able to stand up. Can she kind of hide in what would be like the rubble? Like crouch down at least to kind of like get her bearings and...
Yeah, you can give me another stealth roll then.
Cool. Come on. That'll be an 18.
Okay. You are hidden.
Cool. Need to assess.
All right, Yrsimagor, it is your turn.
I am looking around to see if I can see any other targets.
You can roll me a perception roll, please.
14.
Okay, that is going to be enough. It rolled even with advantage, very small numbers. You can see it moving in what little vision you have. Again, like these strobe light zoetrope movements. This haunting skeletal figure rounding this corner here, holding aloft what is like this blade of rusty Skymetal to bring down upon Toy, and is standing about right here.
And I'm gonna come running and just leap over top of where Toy just extricated herself from the tumbled Skymetal, just leaping in the air to come down with a bear claw attacks.
Okay. This is going to be all at disadvantage unless you attack
So
recklessly to counter it.
I will attack recklessly. First attack. God bless America. First attack is a 9.
That's going to be a miss, as whatever figure was here moments ago is no longer there now, as your claws swipe through empty mist.
Second attack, swiping again, presumably at emptiness with a 10.
Yep.
The third and final attack is a 19.
Your final attack catches something as you rip and tear through what feels like old, stale, crusty, hardened fabric.
That is 12 total slashing damage.
Okay. You get the sense that you've connected with whatever foe lairs right here. And that was some of your movement and your action and bonus action. Do you want to use any other movement, or do you like where you're standing now?
I like where I'm at, so
okay.
I will stay there.
All right, perfect. It brings us to the top of initiative. Behind you, Yrsimagor, that same figure with that jagged piece of Skymetal lunges at you from behind. What Toy would see is just this Skymetal, like rusty, like jagged shape, come bearing down upon Yrsimagor's back. And maybe you're able to yell out just in time, "Yrsimagor, behind you!" enough to get Yrsimagor to try to dodge here. However, you're at disadvantage. Sorry, it's at advantage attacking you. Both because it's hidden from you and because of your reckless nature. Getting a critical hit against you. Which is going to be... It's going to be 10 plus 4, 14, 16 piercing damage. As you are struck critically from behind.
That was me, right?
Yeah, against the Yrsimagor, yeah.
So is that
That's
non-magical?
before that. Yeah, it is non-magical. Yeah.
So 8.
Veris, you feel a powerful force try to lift you off the ground yet again, taking advantage of your small size and small mass.
Would
Make me
this
a
trigger
strength
my
save,
action?
please. Well, you don't see anything.
Oh, okay.
Strength save, please.
19.
You were able to resist it. It was attempting to launch you straight into the air, much similar to how it was going to launch Toy straight in the air. But that brings us now to Daeralei. It is your turn.
Okay. Do I don't see either what was just attacked Veris or tried to attack Veris. Do I?
You did not see what attacked Veris, and you would have just barely been able to make out, probably through the hearing it rather than seeing it, Yrsimagor being stabbed in the back.
Oh well, that's a something. Um, if I miss, I hit Yrsimagor, I bet.
If you miss, you hit Yrsimagor. Absolutely.
Okay, I don't like that. I don't like that
Yrsimagor
odds.
doesn't care, though. You know that.
Okay, then I do care about that. Okay. Does Daeralei really? No, she doesn't really care either. So yeah, we will aim the Eldritch Blasts at the space right behind Yrsimagor.
All right. If you do not hit the
Okay.
creature, it will connect with Yrsimagor.
So much pressure. And this is at disadvantage still, right?
It's at disadvantage. Yes.
All right. It didn't roll. Come on, roll. Oh, well, it's not terrible. 14.
14 is a hit.
Oh, phew. Yeah, we'll take some more headache damage to pump this up by 3 psychic. So damage on the first one is 9 plus 3, 12 points.
Okay. You're able to see with the strike, you've landed true.
I will shoot at it again.
Another disadvantage roll.
I just see in slow motion that Eldritch Blast just go right past me.
This one was a 21. I was able to better locate it. Yeah.
That'll be another hit.
For so close. 10 points.
Yrsimagor, you feel a blast against your back as the blasted remains of this undead creature scatter and break against your own back, turning to ashen dust down your backside. As it was exploded right about here.
Hey.
That was your action, Daeralei. Do you want to do anything with your movement?
No. I want to stay close to Veris because if something does attack him, I want to be able to react to it.
Okay.
So I'm good where I'm at.
All right, Veris, it is your turn.
Can Veris take out a torch and light
You
it?
absolutely could take a torch out, yes.
Yeah,
And light
he's
the
gonna
torch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally our name.
Torch. Yep.
The torch lighters.
And I will say that your torch will give you a bit more vision. Does this work? There we go. Yeah. You illuminate a bit of area more with your torch.
Does that mean he sees anything more?
Does not see anything more, but you can make a perception roll to try to get a sense of anything.
23.
23. You see just at the edge of your vision you see like one more of these strange undead spacemen right here, striding towards you and Daeralei.
He wants to try. I guess he used his action to light the torch, right? And
You
put
did
it
use
down?
your action to light the torch, yeah.
Okay. That's it. That's all he's gonna do then.
Okay.
He's gonna
That'll-
point that out to Daeralei, though. He's
Mhm.
gonna, yeah.
And probably to the rest of the group too, the way that you...
Yeah, he's gonna yell it out, yeah.
Toy, it is your turn. You are hidden. What do you want to do?
Can I try to like listen or look around to see if I can hear any of these other creatures?
Sure, give me a perception roll, please.
Cool. That is a 17.
You hear a voice in a language you do not understand,
Cool.
an unearthly voice. From over here. Whatever it
Cool.
said it with an extreme amount of malice and ill intent.
If that's the case, I want to... Yeah. Toy is going to try and I guess use the fog a little bit to stealth to get closer to see what is producing this chanting. So, just gonna kind of go around Yrsimagor. I will very much take the opportunity attack if it happens.
It does not happen. Based on the route that you've chosen, it does not happen.
Coolsies.
Unfortunately, moving like this, you will no longer be hidden.
Yeah.
And basically through triangulating based on the sound, you can tell that you've passed it. The voice coming from somewhere over here.
Okay. Let's see. If we say that that's all of my movement, let's just say that's all of my movement.
Yeah, it would have been.
Can she throw a dagger in that direction?
You absolutely can.
Cool.
It'll be at disadvantage.
That's fine. Disadvantage will be a 15.
15 hits. Roll for damage, please.
Yes. Let's see, baby. So it would be 8 without the sneak attack damage.
Okay, perfect. Veris, you see a throwing knife being thrown in your direction by Toy. And as it cuts through this area here, you can see the form of this undead creature kind of splitting, parting like wind and parting like smoke before coalescing and vanishing into the mist again. And Veris, from your side, you see the knife clatter, tunk, 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 about here at your feet. That was Toy. That was your entire turn, I believe. Yrsimagor, it is your turn.
So Veris pointed out where...
Veris said it was over here somewhere. And then Toy struck through it here.
All right, well, I'm going to try to move over this way and do my best to hit it.
All right. Give me attack rolls with disadvantage.
I will be attacking recklessly once again. That's going to be just a straight up roll. There's an 18 on the first.
That's a hit.
10 on the second. And a crit on the last one. So that would be, so the first hit is going to be 10 slashing.
10 slash.
And then the second hit, that would be 6 and 12 plus 16 for the crit.
Okay. You slash at it. It does not rip to shreds like this would any corporeal foe. Instead, you can see in between each slash, it hisses at you with its skeletal, gaunt, undead face from behind the cracked glass of a spaceman's helmet. It yells at you in between each slash before returning to the mist, invisible again. It does not turn to dust from you pulverizing it.
I think the others, you would hear the sort of ursine roars that are typical as I'm attacking, and then hearing maybe the sound of contact, or at least the sound of triumph, followed immediately by a sound of frustration that I did not yet dispatch this thing.
Daeralei, you will see. Oh, sorry, I guess Yrsimagor, that's the end of your turn, right? Moving and attacking
Yes.
a bunch of times? Cool.
Yes.
Daeralei, you will see that the errant knife that was thrown by Toy begins lifting up off the ground of its own accord, and its blade tip slowly lines up with the back of Yrsimagor's neck, and it slowly glides before picking up speed and planting itself into the base of Yrsimagor's neck, driving it deep into the back of his neck and into his spine. This is attacking you with uber advantage here, which is normal advantage because in D&D 5e they don't stack. That is going to be a 21 to hit your Yrsimagor, as you're able to just barely in the nick of time, unintended, probably pull away and roll with the slash to stop it from dealing completely lethal damage to you, instead only dealing 12 piercing to you, which you're able to shrug off with your barbarian rage. As you are stabbed from behind by Toy's knife, as you feel the wetness of blood roll down the back of your neck. Daeralei, it is your turn.
Do I still see, like, I only saw the knife, right? The dagger.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't see whatever it was wielding it, right?
Correct. Yes.
I don't like this vantage point, to be honest. I think that's bad. So I'm going to move. Oh, did it again. Okay, wrong window. I'm going to move. How far away is he? Oh, he's not that far.
If it makes you feel any better, Kaeryn, I see Owlbear Rodeo in 5 separate windows.
Right. It's terrible.
It's a gamble every time.
I'm going to move myself to about here.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot my Eldritch Blasts. Can I can't. How do I show you? Basically straight north, I guess. Like straight up.
Like this way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
All right.
I know it's behind him somewhere, but that's where I'm aiming.
Make your attack rolls, please.
Disadvantage. Roll. First one. Oh, those are low numbers. That's a 12.
You strike at nothing. as you have it hit the far valley wall to the north.
I would like to take a different aim with my second one and maybe move it back
Like over here.
yeah, more how do you do that? Oh,
There's a little
pointer
pointer
thing.
tool. It's right. Yeah.
Yeah, more like in this direction
Okay,
this
okay.
time.
All right. Give me another attack roll with disadvantage.
Oh, come on. Roll. Yeah, not terrible. 17. Oh,
You
wait.
strike at nothing. Oh.
Oh, no. Yeah, sorry. 17 is my, disadvantage
You
one.
strike through the mists, your Eldritch Blast, connecting with nothing.
Hmm.
As you miss.
I think I still have some movement left. I am going to
Yeah,
use
you've
myself.
about 10. You have about 10 left.
Yeah. I'm going to use myself as bait, because we know it's somewhere around there. I'm going to step in between the two of them, approximately where I saw the dagger, I guess, kind of land. And that's where I'll go.
Okay.
Hopefully. Yeah. Luring it to me.
Veris. Veris, it is your turn.
So does Veris still see that one shambling?
You don't see it anymore. No. You could try to locate it with a perception roll, please. If you want to try to see through the mists to where it could be.
11.
Yeah, no, it's vanished. It's gone. Whatever harm was done to it by Yrsimagor made it definitely move away or vanish even more into the mist. You have no
Gosh,
idea where it is.
I wish I had more light spells. I don't, though.
Learn fairy fire. Learn fairy fire.
He just doesn't want to blindly chuck spells. I think what he's going to do is he's going to put down one of the torches where they are.
Okay.
Where he is, and then he's going to walk, like, have it still be lit, and then he's going to, like, walk like over to here. Beep. And he's gonna light another torch.
Okay. So you're up there and you're bringing a torch with you. There we go.
Yep. And that's what he's gonna do.
All right. That brings us to Toy. It is your turn.
Okay. We're all kind of circling around this. Whatever it might be, hopefully. So Toy is gonna get... Actually, hold on. Can I roll a perception check to see if it's still in that area?
You can certainly try. Roll me a perception.
Cool. Before I do anything else, like getting my dagger, that's a 14.
Okay,
Out of
it'll
your
roll
Yrsimagor's
stealth
neck.
against you. It succeeds. Yeah, you have no idea where it is.
Okay. Well, then she is going to move to Yrsimagor. And I guess with her action, be like, sorry, buddy, and try to get the dagger out of his neck.
And you're able to do so and getting your dagger back.
Cool. And that's it.
All right. Yrsimagor, it is your turn. You're surrounded by friends. You have no idea how much you are surrounded by foes, for you cannot see them. What would you like to do?
Whatever I can do to try to perceive where something that is not a friend might be.
Okay, roll me perception.
So that I might strike in that direction. All right, cheese. I'm going to give you a chance here. Perceive with the cheese. It's 15.
Okay, it's going to roll its stealth against you. It succeeds. You have no idea where it could be.
I'm going to strike blindly where my friends are not.
Okay, give me those attack rolls at disadvantage.
Recklessly. With cheese. That is a
cheese.
17 on the first one, so that's a 24 total for the first strike.
You strike at air and miss.
Okay. 9 on the second strike. And a dirty 20 on
Gonna be 3 misses
the last
as you slash about wildly around you.
You know, in a video game, when you accidentally activate your character's combo move and there's no enemies on screen, that's you just see your Yrsimagor go, "Hia, hia, hia!" And then sad bear noise because I missed. I do think I would have kind of moved into sort of the midst of our group, creating a very peculiar trifecta here.
Right. At the end of your turn, Yrsimagor, Daeralei, you are struck in the back by Veris's torch getting thrown at you. You will take 6 points of bludgeoning and 3 points of fire as Veris's torch blew itself at you, striking you.
Sweet.
And that brings us to your turn, Daeralei.
Perfect. Okay. So I know where that torch approximately was. So centered on that point, because I should have done this a long, long time ago, I'm going to cast Fairy Fire. So it's a 10 foot radius. 10 foot radius?
Circle?
It's a 10 foot radius circle centered on where the torch was on the ground before it was flung towards me. If it happens to be in that zone there, they need to make a dex save throw, please.
It certainly does.
DC 15.
It will get a 14 on the save.
Oh,
it will
beautiful.
Be completely revealed. So the fairy fire, it shimmers, casting a light over the area, and it clings to the forms of things, both incorporeal and corporeal. Like throwing flour over an invisible man. You see, at the edge of your vision, covered in the motes of light of your fairy fire, that haunted, incorporeal, skeletal spaceman at the edge of your vision. I have revealed it on the map, and he will be revealed for the rest of this combat or until the fairy fire ends. Whichever happens first. And that was your action, Daeralei. What do you want to do next? What if you unmute?
I will unmute myself first. Yes. I think knowing where it is at, it is now invisible. I am going to approach it because I would rather be right. Well, I'm not going to get right up close to it, but I do want to keep an eye on it, and I want it to attack me if it's going to attack me. now that I can see it. Damn it! I keep wrong window. Okay. Yeah, I think. How close do I want to get to it? Yeah, I think that's good. Right there. No, it can fling things at me. I'm going to go right up in its face.
All right.
Hit me, buddy. Okay.
Veris, it is your turn. The foe has revealed itself through the magic of Daeralei. What do you want to do?
Veris is gonna shoot it
This is your
with his
Inferno pistol?
infernal. Yeah.
All right, make that attack roll then, please.
Oh, whoops. Sorry, clicked the wrong thing. 17.
That will hit.
7 points of piercing.
7 piercing, you say?
Mhm.
That is not quite enough to slay it, but the shot of the flame and slag flies through the air from the tip of your Inferno pistol, striking at the now revealed undead creature, harming it as it reels back, hissing out in some unknown language as the jaw loosely hangs from its skeletal head. How's your action? Anything left that you'd like to do?
Actually, it's gonna give Yrsimagor bardic inspiration.
All right. Toy, it is your turn.
Awesome. I need to measure something real fast. Measure so I can get about here. But if I just stay here, I can do. Let's see. I can pull out my short bow and hit it with my short bow.
Mm-hmm. Give me an attack roll.
Let's see. Go, dice, go. That is a 14.
That hits.
Cool. Let's see. It would be 7 piercing damage.
And that is enough to slay the undead creature. As you strike the arrow through its heart, or where it would be, it kind of arms up and disintegrates, falling to ashen dust. You listen about, thinking perhaps there's more of them in the mist, but there are no more. You have vanquished your foes. What do you do and say as you catch your breath here?
Is there anything left of them, like the armor or anything?
It's just this white, chalky powder that remains. It reeks, this powder, but that's the only thing that remains of them.
Okay.
Ash on the ground.
No, I'm more interested in if they left little bits of Skymetal, but I
did
do
not.
not want to touch this white stuff. That sounds bad.
I think I like robots slightly better than these spectral creatures. At least with a robot, they're solid and you can hit them. And I will crouch down and touch the powder. I'm gonna just give it a kind of dip a finger in it, do the classic run it between my fingers, give it a sniff, and see if it has any ill effects on me touching this stuff.
This is bone dust.
Excellent. How big of a pile did each of these creatures leave?
You had my thought right in mind, because I was going to at least bottle some of it.
I imagine if you were to perfectly capture all of this bone dust on the ground, per each of them, you get 2 cups worth.
So I'm not trying to, like, be careful not to get dirt mixed in with it, but I will. One, I would like to fill a pouch. I'll transfer my 6 remaining gold to some other pouch and fill my coin purse with this powder. And if I see Toy looking like she wanted some, you can grab some of that. I'm thinking, in fact, I'll voice this. If we see any more of these things, I'm gonna throw this jet in their face. Where I think their face is. Maybe we can see them. I will call it scary powder, or scary fire. I'm just kidding.
Not a bad idea, my good friend.
I
As she's, like,
legitimately
corking
was
a bottle.
searching at the beginning of this fight, searching through my inventory. Like, I've got to have something I can throw to try to make these things visible. I did not. So I guess I'll add bone dust to my inventory.
Pouch of bone dust. You are able to gather yourselves and press deeper into the mist-filled valley, this wreckage, if you so choose to press on. Is this what the party does? Perfect. You follow the way. I'll use Toy for the marker here. Actually, I'll pull all of you down. Down here, you see ahead of you in the distance something large. This undisturbed structure reveals itself as the mist parts away just a little bit for you to see the sheer sheen of a Skymetal surface, not pitted and rusted and broken and full of debris like the rest of this area is, but the smooth wall of some kind of structure, a complex. Perhaps this is the wreckage that the artificer Bree Kite was referring to. She said it was part of the complex that contained that all of Scrapwall was a part of. You see it ahead. Yeah, perfect. Ahead of you, you can feel the air that is unnaturally cold. The wall opens up in this section here ahead of you into this empty atrium. This reminds you, this structure, the grooves on the floor and the Skymetal, the way that this is structured, this reminds you of the complex below Torch. Metal doorways that would have had locked doors stretch open to the elements ahead of you, spanning a deep hallway here. The floor is slanted. There's strange bits of rubble and twisted length of metal all along the walls, the floors, the ceiling. The ceiling itself is badly damaged, gray metal, shattered in numerous places, exposing these coils of rusty, mold-covered cables and wires. It invites you to explore it further. The haunted wreckage.
I say thank you
well,
to
this
the.
looks Oh, go ahead.
All three of us were just like, hey guys.
I accept your invitation.
Let's do it. Veris is just like, does anyone else get this strange sense of ominousness?
I think you always get that with places like this. But if the door's open for us, might be
I
something good.
actually am feeling I like it a little bit better than this dark, misty nothings with the nothings that hurt us flying about. I'd rather have solid walls around me.
I reach
Hopefully
out.
with a little bit more light.
I reach
Yes.
out and knock on the Skymetal wall and just go, huh, maybe I'll get to kill some robots after all.
After you, my man.
All right, I press save game, and then I will enter the...
The hallway echoes from your approach. You feel that this place is ancient, older than any man or monster alive today. Once you step inside, however, the ever pervasive mist begins to kind of part way just a bit, allowing you to see just a little bit further than you could before. But still, the mist is oppressive, occluding vision beyond what you normally should be able to see. Whatever secrets Bree Kite thinks are hidden, they could be found here. This atrium here extends further to the south. You're not sure how far it goes.
Can Toy take out her hooded lantern and get that bad boy going?
Absolutely. As you shine a light on the situation.
Heck yeah.
Your light illuminates the way forward, giving just a bit more light that banishes the shadows of this forgotten, ancient, rusted, corroded place. Yrsimagor and Toy, you can see that this hallway into this complex bends at a right angle, going to the east. There's a wall dead ahead of you, lined with panels and words that you cannot read, for they are written in an alien tongue and also very much scuffed with the passage of time.
I believe I can read that stuff now, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you have the invocation of reading all language?
I think I might have. Let me just check real quick here. Oh, Eyes of the Rune Keeper. I can read all writing. Yeah.
Okay. If you bring yourself up to this wall to move you in closer, you can read, and you see what would be written in this alien tongue. It says Module Chrysalis along the wall. Whatever else it would say, you're not sure because it has been lost to time and erosion. Module Chrysalis is all that stands as a testament of time.
I do read it out loud for everyone to hear me, but I don't know what it means.
I think you just hear Toy go, "Oh, that's not foreboding at all." Great.
Yrsimagor, do you peek down that
I was
corner?
gonna say I'm gonna peek around the corner.
Okay. I'm not sure if it's visible to you on Owlbear Rodeo, but there should be a faint glow
Very
down at
slightly.
the end of this
Yep.
end of this section. There you can see there's rubble strewn about at the far end of this hall. You're not sure what it is, but the rubble itself of Skymetal, it glows with an unearthly glow. The same glow as those Numerian fluids that dripped down in that pool where that monstrous mutant mimic creature was. It coats a lot of the machinery and rubble in this far chamber. Details you're not able to quite make out in this deep fog.
I'm going to. That's a lot further than I thought it was. I'm gonna take a page out of Veris's book, and I'm gonna hold my hand up as the others are approaching, and I'm going to pull a torch out of my pack and light it, and I'm going to throw it ahead. However far I can throw it. I don't know. I don't know what the range is on a torch.
You probably throw 40 feet.
Okay.
So that would put it at about in the center of the room here. Perfect. So this will be your torch. It is small, and it has there we go. It will illuminate. Oh, wrong one. It will illuminate the area in your vision. You can see that this area here, that the eastern half of this room is a tangle of gray metal, strange engine parts, rubble, all of which subjected to a great heat long ago, judging by the metals melted and scorched surfaces. Here and there you can see soft glowing residues caked onto all the bits and pieces of metal. The metal itself almost looks like the way that wax hardens after it's been melted, the way that some of it pools and has hardened in these puddles and blobs around itself. Something of great heat was subjected here at some point in the past.
If I don't detect any movement,
You do not.
I will proceed forward here, looking left and right.
You see two rooms. The walls are opened by these doorways that are left open. There is a chamber to the north and a chamber to the south. The details of each are occluded in mist and darkness. There is, however, something that you can sense even without your vision. A great nasty smell of decay and mildew coming from the south. And the smell of exposed metal, rusty, to the north.
I look back at the others. We've got 3 choices.
always go left, I think. So straight?
So, you say always go left while I'm turned and facing you, which means I'm going to turn and face the southern door. This way.
I love it. Yes. Yeah.
I believe that was where the strong, pervasive scent of decay was.
Absolutely, yes.
I'm going to poke my head in here and let me check it first. I'll stick myself into the door just enough that, like, I have a hand back so they can see me as I'm peering in, trying to see what I can see.
The air in this chamber is choking and stale. It is thick and it catches itself in your lungs, in your breath. The dust here is inches thick. Nothing before you has disturbed this area in years. The western section of this room, at the end of your vision, you can see is collapsed with rubble, melted itself together in the same way that the engine to the right has melted itself. There are 4 large coffin-shaped, like upright coffin-shaped objects along the far south wall, which you can barely just make out. They're each made of glass and metal, sitting against the walls. The one farthest to the west here is smashed open partially. All 4 of them, however, contain what appears to be a skeleton clad in fragments of strange, bulky armor. The same bulky armor that you saw in the mists before coming here. The other, so the one on the far left is very damaged, and then the other 3 are only slightly damaged. The air here is thick with a rancid scent, like old meat gone bad.
Is there a door?
There seems to be no egress or ougress out of this room other than the one you're coming into.
I mean, the door, sorry, not a door elsewhere in the room. Is there an actual door that can be closed that I'm standing next to?
So the doorway is one of those automated doors that you remember interacting with. You can see the keypad, like the swipe card thingy, on either side of the door section here. However, it seems that because this place has no power going to it, the doors are permanently ajar, sliding themselves fully into the walls. So no, there is no door that you can close manually.
There's some kind of chambers in here that hold whatever those things were that we just dealt with out in the cavern. There's more of them in here, but they seem to be contained. They also smell very bad.
I mean, I could try and you just see her, like, with her free hand, just go, the ones that are in there.
There's at least 3, maybe 4.
Okay.
If you try to take one out, the others might wake up, and then we've got a whole other fight on our hands.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Can't believe I'm the one saying this, but we should use a little bit of caution. See what else might be in these other chambers before we wake the whole place.
Smart decision.
I want to peer up into this room.
You see that this area, whatever it was, has long since fallen to ruin over time. The northeastern section of this wall up here, of this blasted chamber, was obviously superheated at some point, for here and there the walls run wax-like, forming slag that cooled in the puddles of steel and Skymetal along the floor. Debris litters everywhere. Whatever once was here, it might have been tech of great value, but now is mere scraps of unsalvageable, half-melted junk. Make a perception roll, please.
Perception. That will be an 11.
This seems like a, unfortunately, valueless room, as it all seems to be blasted by heat and ruin and clutter.
I just sort of poke my head back out, kind of thumb over my shoulder. There's nothing in here but melted metal. And I'll head to this door and do the same.
Again, you see the melted engine itself, a tangle in this great heap on the eastern section of the room. There are two terminals, one to the north, one to the south, of chairs pointed at these strange black windows that are unresponsive. They don't seem to be peering into or out of anything. Just a pane of black glass that serves what appears to be no purpose.
I will step a little further into the room. You're going to want to take a look at this, Veris.
Yeah, Veris is going to follow Yrsimagor in. What is it?
These look like those strange machines or whatever they were. Below torch.
Oh, yes, I see that. And Veris is going to take a couple steps closer.
Is there anything in particular that Veris wants to check out in this room?
He's going to check the chair, like, up to the north. This one.
Okay. I'm going to try and stir this machine to life.
No, not yet. He just wants
Okay,
to
okay, okay.
look.
Yeah, this
Just look, no touch.
This entire area seems to be undisturbed through eons of time. Thick dust. You can all see each other's footsteps in the dust as you go from place to place. This chair is askew. And as you look around, Veris, you realize that it appears like everything has been victim to some kind of massive explosion. And this is how things have been left to sit afterwards. As if just like a great force, a great explosive force happening mostly from, oh, that's the wrong one. Here and emanating outwards. But otherwise, it doesn't seem there's too much things of value in this particular room, other than the two consoles, the two terminals, one in the north and one in the south. Which I believe that Veris had used in the past in the complex below torch to get some information.
Yeah, okay. I think after looking for a little bit, being a little confident that he has at least seen a lot of this before, like Yrsimagor said, he's gonna try to boot things up then.
Okay. You try, and it seems unresponsive. You're not sure. You tried all the buttons that you remember pressing back below torch. Nothing seems to work here. As if everything here is dead and long dead.
He's gonna tell that to Yrsimagor. This place seems a little less energized than what was beneath torch.
I'm going to kind of just, and I'm gonna come over here by this washer dryer combo next to the trampoline, and I want to start looking towards where all of this massive, where it looks like this explosion happened. I'm trying to see through all of the machinery and everything else if it looks like there's any way to get deeper. Maybe not a door, but maybe an improvised door that was created by an explosion.
Give me an investigation or perception. Your choice.
Perception's a tad better. Except when I roll a 9. That's a 10.
You don't see anything. If there were to be something that would exist like this, someone as small as Veris would be the one that'd have to weave himself through the debris, and you'd have to like lift things out of the way, but you're not even sure what you'd be getting at that point. It seems completely caved in, entirely by whatever calamity happened here in the past. You don't really get a sense of there being much reward or payoff to all that work.
I'm keeping an eye out in these 2 rooms just to make sure we're not going to get attacked by the things in the...
Okay. As you look to the north room, make a perception roll, please.
$16.
You remember Yrsimagor saying, nothing here. And lo and behold, you squint your eyes just a bit, looking deep into the darkness with your dark elven eyes, and you can see that though this place seems to be utterly destroyed by molten slag and explosion and debris and whatnot, there seems to be one container in a section along the wall, like a cupboard, but on the floor, broken. It seems to be intact, and you could probably open it to find whatever contents were in it long ago. How Yrsimagor missed it, you're not sure.
This is BG3, and I walked in there, and it did the little perception roll, and I failed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daeralei is gonna, seeing that, is just gonna make a beeline basically to it, and recklessly open it up, because that's what they do.
Inside is a treasure trove. Inside you see 43 silver discs, a long-barreled, strange two-handed hand cannon device, 3 grenades, 3 strange devices that almost seem like sorry, 2 strange devices. They seem to almost be like this, like wrapped up, like silicone latex thing that's been like deflated and bound really tightly. There's another thing which is like a handheld device with a long antenna. And there are 3 slabs, 3 almost bricks, wrapped in this like not quite parchment. It's like parchment but made of metal. Where if you kind of peel it open a little bit, it looks like there's some kind of like dough or plaster, but it's a strange pink color on the inside.
Sorry, what was that last one? A what?
3 bricks.
3 bricks.
Of strange pink plaster.
Strange pink plaster. Oh dear, that sounds dangerous, but okay, we take that. And what was the very first thing you said? You said 43 silver discs?
Yes, 43
43.
silver discs and
Wow,
a
okay.
large two-handed hand cannon. And you look at the barrel of this hand cannon and you look at these grenades and go, those might fit. This is a grenade launcher.
Okay. Hand cannon. All right, I will take all of that. Uh, and I will, at this point, because it seems heavy and unwieldy, I will put it into my bag of holding for later showing to the folks. Except I think that the silver discs, they're going to go in my pouch with the other silver discs that I've got. And then I'll step back out into the hallway because I'm still worried about the creatures in the other room. I did not see any. Yeah, there's no exits or anything that I saw, right?
Nope. And so I feel like you've exhausted your options for the most part in these two rooms, leaving only one room to remain here in this haunted wreckage. The room with the 4 tall, transparent glass coffins, each within a spaceman corpse. And that is where we're going to end the session and pick up next time.
All right. And next time will be more than 2 weeks, correct?
It will be.
I believe we're going to be looking at least a month.
Yeah, April 1st is the next tentative
So, what that
session.
means is on these alternating Tuesdays, at least until April, there will not be any Skymetal Iron Gods. I will say that I am considering, as I was thinking about this, either running or inviting someone to run a 2 or 3 shot in that time span. So I will figure that out. I've got 2 weeks. Well, maybe less if I want somebody else to run something to give them a little bit of time to come up with something. But at the very least, we'll keep you informed. The best place to stay informed is in the Discord. We have a public channel for Skymetal and for all of our stream games, so that if we are not going to be playing or doing anything, we'll just have some downtime during that period. But we know where we're leaving off when we return in April. Thanks, Vi, for another great session and not killing us. And even if we have to do without Donut for a while, hopefully Donut will come back fully healed, full strength, and maybe with some custom armor. We'll see. Thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. Of course, we always appreciate the support in the form of bits, gifts, all of that stuff. Love seeing all of the activity in the chat as people hang out and watch the game. Know that if you are lurking quietly in the background or watching with us on the VOD, that we appreciate you and hope you are enjoying things. And as we prepare to head out of here for the next several weeks, again, huge thank you to our Game Master Vi, and to Kaeryn, Sara, myself, without whom this would just be Vi talking to herself for a couple hours. With that, we're going to go ahead and end the stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want.
Metadata.
It's Moaki's fault.